Few names in history evoke as much horror as Josef Mengele, the Nazi doctor of Auschwitz, a man whose experiments defied every principle of human decency. His victims, men, women, and children, were subjected to unimaginable cruelty, all in the name of science. Today, we unravel the atrocities committed by the so-called Angel of Death and the dark legacy he left behind. Josef Mengele was born in 1911 in Günzburg, Germany. Coming from a wealthy family, he pursued a career in medicine and anthropology. He was a brilliant student, earning a doctorate in genetics, but his intelligence would soon be twisted by the ideology of the Nazi regime. In 1937, Mengele joined the Nazi Party and later became an SS officer. His path led him to Auschwitz in 1943, where he became chief medical officer. It was here that he earned his infamous nickname, the Angel of Death. Mengele's role at Auschwitz was sinister. As trains arrived at the death camp, he personally selected prisoners for either forced labor or the gas chambers. But those he found interesting were subjected to something even worse, his medical experiments. One of Mengele's obsessions was twins. He conducted brutal experiments on sets of twins, injecting chemicals into their eyes to try to change their color, sewing siblings together in an attempt to create conjoined twins, and exposing them to deadly diseases, all to prove Nazi racial theories. But twins were not his only victims. He conducted experiments on pregnant women, dwarfs, and people with disabilities. He injected chemicals into prisoners' bodies, conducted unnecessary amputations, and even subjected people to extreme cold and pressure chambers. As the war neared its end in 1945, Mengele abandoned Auschwitz and fled west. Captured by the Allies, he was somehow released, his crimes not yet fully discovered. He assumed a false identity and escaped to South America. For decades, Mengele lived freely in Argentina and Paraguay. Despite global manhunts led by Mossad and Nazi hunters like Simon Wiesenthal, he evaded capture. He eventually died in Brazil in 1979, drowning in the ocean. Justice, it seemed, had escaped him. Mengele's legacy is one of horror. His victims never received justice. His experiments left a permanent scar on medical ethics, leading to the establishment of the Nuremberg Code guidelines to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again. The horrors of Josef Mengele remind us of what happens when science is corrupted by hatred. His name may be infamous, but his victims must never be forgotten. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. What are your thoughts on Mengele's crimes? Let us know in the comments.